Hi, so in this video I'm going to show you how to extract and transform XML data to HTML using XSLT. So I'm going to be using the Stylus Studio X15 XML Enterprise. So I have a piece of XML data here, and this is coming from the Oxford City Council Health and Environmental Protection Committee meeting. A sample containing about 11,223 words speech recording in public context. Just to quickly go through this XML data, so we have a U tag, U node, which has the speaker's ID. We have W nodes, which are words, so the word well, we, page, yes. So each speaker speaks the following words. Again, it closes here. Then we have another speaker which speaks the following words. So in this video we're going to look mostly at the U node and the W nodes. So again, the U node is the speaker and the W nodes are the words. So the first file is this file we're going to create. So if I just run this, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to transform this XML data into a HTML table. We're going to display the words from the XML data and display how many times does each word occur. Again, as you can see, the words are distinct. So the word could displays 28 times, lot displays 22 times. The next XSLT files we're going to create is a bit more challenging. Over here we're going to put the speaker's ID over in this column, the number of words each speaker speaks, but also the speaker's name. So it's not actually their real name, but it's the names used as a base. Just want to keep it anonymous. So just like that. So if this is something that interests you, please keep watching. I'm going to have all the source code inside my GitHub below, so feel free to download and follow along with me. But yeah, so I really hope you do enjoy this video, and again, if you've enjoyed this, I'm going to have a part 2 which will be about XQuery, so do keep that in mind as well. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so I have Stylus Studio X15 set up. I'm just going to go File, Open. I'm just going to open my XML file. Okay, so as you can see, the W's represent the words. So we have the word well, we, the, page, spelling, could, etc. So just before I move any further, I'm just going to also import an external schema, which I have. It's not really needed, but I'm just going to put it just for now. Okay, so the first step is let's create a new XSL file. So we're going to do File, New, XSLT style sheet. Okay, now here it says source XML URL. So you're just going to click on this. You're going to find your XML file and just going to open that. Okay, I'm just going to go make sure that everything. So for processor, I'm just going to do Java built-in just for now, and then afterwards if there's any errors it will let us know. I'm just going to click on OK. So we are going to be using the XSL style sheet version 2 rather than 1, so I'm just going to change that to 2. Okay, so now let's get started. Okay, so template match equals slash. This means that it's going to take it from the first node. So now it's basically targeted this XML file starting from the first node. So the first step, like I mentioned, is we want to take all the words and see how many times each word occurs. So how many times does the word we occur, how many times does the word the occur, the word page, etc. So just to do that, it's going to go down, and we're also going to convert this into HTML. So just after the template match, we're going to create a HTML tag. And then, just like standard HTML, a body tag. So as you've seen, it's going to be in the form of a table, so we're going to use the table tag. I'm just going to put a border onto it as well. Yeah, just one. Oops, so put it inside speech marks first. Okay, so now it's going to have two columns, word and the second column is the number of occurrences each word occurs. So I'm just going to do tr. So the first one is the word, and the first one is the number of occurrences. Just like that. I'm just going to close that as well. Okay. So now we want to take all the W nodes. So these ones just going down. I mean, there's so many. So item, perhaps. So we want to take all the W nodes. So to do this, we're going to use XSL for each. So it has a built-in for each group. So let me just show you. So XSL for each group. Okay, so we're going to use for each group instead of for each. So what for each group does is it will enable us to take all the W nodes and put them all together. So it will be handled as one for now. So we're going to do for each group select equals. We're going to create an XPath expression now. So we want to take all the W nodes. So to do this, we're going to do //W. So this will basically ignore everything and take only the W nodes which we want. And now we're just going to do again W self W. So now we've ignored everything before the W node, and we've also just selected the W nodes itself. So we don't want the S tags or the U tags, just the W tags or the W nodes. Okay, just like that. Now if we just go back here, as you can see, we have the word we. This one has spacing, this one has no spacing. Now these two words, even though they're the same, XSL will see these as two different words because of the spacing over here. So to be on the safe side, what we're going to do is we're going to remove the spacing to make sure these two words are classified as the same. But not only that, we also want to make sure that if there's another we around which is of lowercase, again it's not going to be classified as the same as this we. So we're going to make sure that we're going to remove all the spacing and also to make them all of lowercase. So to do that, I'm just going to do lowercase. So again, it has its own built-in function. And then I'm going to do normalize space. Just like that. So we've gotten all the W nodes, we've made them all lowercase, and we've got them all of no spacing. So last step is we're going to do group by, let's put a dot. Oops, let's do equals dot. So we've gotten all the W nodes, we've grouped them together, we make sure they're all lowercase and of no spacing. Okay, so now let's start displaying our data. So let's do tr td. Oops. To display the data, we're going to do XSL value of select equals. We can just do, because we've okay, so instead of just copying all this, we can just use the dot. So it will take the dot from here and it will display this. So we can just do dot, and that's that. So here it basically selects the group, which is all the W nodes, and making sure they're all lowercase and no spacing, and it's going to display in this column. I'm just going to close this, and then we're going to open another column, so for the number of occurrences. And now something similar, we're just going to do XSL value of select equals, so it's already equals, we're going to do count, so use the count function. I'm just going to count how many times does each of the nodes, each of the words occur. So each of the word nodes occurs, and we're going to do current group, just like that. So you know how we've grouped all the nodes all together, so all the W nodes, so the word has, we're making sure that they're distinct, so the word has is not going to repeat so many times in the table. So we've grouped them, and now we're counting how many times does each of them occur. And I'm just going to close this, and just like that. And I'm going to close the TD, close TR. The good thing about stylers is it does it for you, so it kind of does save a lot of time. Table, body, HTML. Okay, just gonna make, oops. Okay, I'm just gonna put this up a bit. Okay, so now if we just save this, I'm gonna save this as occurrences. Save that, and now if I run this, okay, I'm going to do yes since I'm using XSL 2.0. Okay, and let's see the results that we get. Okay, so there we have it. So we have the words and how many times does each word occur. And we've also used the for each group to make sure that when we select the W nodes, it selects distinct words. So the word thought is not going to repeat so many times. It's going to repeat once, and it's going to show how many times does that word occur using the count of the current group. Okay, so one more thing before we finalize this is let's make sure that it goes from descending order, so from the highest word occurrence to the lowest. And to do this, we can use the XSL sort. So we do XSL sort select equals, and again similarly we just do count how many times each word occurs, again distinct words, so just like that. And then I'm just going to close this, and then we do order equals, oops, order equals descending, so descending, just like that. So now if I save this and I run it, it's going to display from the highest word occurrence, so the word the appears a lot. Okay, so to make sure that this is correct, let's select a word. So let's select the word job. So let's go over here and let's go right at the top. Okay, let's do Command F, and we're going to search the word job. Let's match the word of job. Okay, so if you just go here, so we have job, which appears once. Okay, so the HW also contains the word as well, by the way. Okay, so again, job appears twice. Okay. Again, job appears 3 times. And hopefully that should be it. Yep, and it goes back up to the first. So now we know that this data works. So just to recap, we've basically selected all the words, we've grouped them, so making them distinct. We've displayed them, we've displayed also the number of times each word occurs. And we've also made them in descending order using sort select. Okay, so now part 2. Part 2 is a bit more trickier, however it is actually quite interesting as well. So if we go back to our XML file, and let me just go back up. So as you can see, there's a U tag. So basically this U tag is basically the speaker's ID. So here we have the speaker ID of PS6H7, and from this we have all the words that this speaker speaks. And also if I just copy this speaker, okay, and I do find next, it also leads us to this person node, which has this speaker as an ID and also gives us the person's name. So not its actual name, but it just gives us, a sort of, as like a base. So this person's name is Chair. So now we're going to create another HTML table which will display us the speaker's names, the speaker's ID, and the number of words they speak. So it will display this, its ID, it will display its name, and it will also display how many words do they speak. So we have another U tag here of PS6H8, and this speaker speaks these following words. This speaker, another speaker ID, they speak this following word. And just also one more thing is that each speaker can speak more than once. So we might find this speaker here, this ID, and we also might find it also somewhere down here. So they can speak more than once. Okay, so just to get started, I'm going to create a new XSL file. So I'm going to do File, New, XSLT. Okay, I'm just going to put my XML file in here. I'm going to leave it as Java, and it's going to tell me that it needs Saxon. So I'm just going to do that. Change it to XSL version 2. Okay, so now we have template match. So after template match, actually, I'm actually going to copy this just to make it much more easier rather than watching me to type everything again. Just like that. So now the first stage is we're going to change this. So again, like I said, the first column is going to be the speaker's ID. The second one is going to be the speaker's name. And then the third is going to be the number of words. Okay. So now we're going to keep the for each group. However, this time we're not going to focus on the W nodes as of now. Now we want to take the U nodes. However, not just the U nodes we want to take its attribute, because the attribute is the one that contains the speaker's ID. So to do this, we're going to remove this actually, and we're going to do, instead of //w, we're going to do //u. So now here we've selected all the U nodes, and now we want to select the attribute who to get the speakers. And again, we're going to make sure that all the speakers are of uppercase that we get, and we're also going to make sure that there's no spacing. So once we convert all the speakers to uppercase and normalized spacings, we are then able to take all of them rather than figuring one out. So in group by, I'm going to do uppercase, normalized space, and now to get that attribute you just do @who. I'm just going to close that. So the who attribute is this, and it lets us take the ID. So now we have that. So next, sort select. So I'm just going to, let's leave that at the end for now. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to display in the first column the speaker's ID. So we're not going to do value of select dot, no. We are going to do something different. We are going to do now value of select current grouping key. The reason we're doing this is because here we're taking its attribute, and we're also making sure the attributes that we get are distinct, so we're only going to display them once. So if PS6HZ is repeated twice, we're not going to display it twice, we're going to display it once. So to do that, we're going to do current grouping key. Okay, and now to get Actually, okay, let's move on to the name. So like I said, each one has a name. So just copy this. Okay, it's over here already. It has a name. So inside the person node, we have an attribute called XML ID, which has the ID, and then inside the person name node, it has the name chair, which is the ID's name. Okay, so if I just go back here, now to get that, what we're going to do is first we have to select the person node. So we're going to do //person to get the person node. And now we want to get the attribute, this attribute, to get the ID. Whoops. So now we've got the ID, we want to make sure that we're going to get the name. So to get the name, we have to make sure that we're linking it with the ID. So I'm just going to go back here, and now I'm just going to do we're going to get the ID XML, which is here, and we're going to again make sure that we're getting the current grouping key. So I'm just going to copy this, paste it here, oops, over here. Okay, I'm just going to close this just like that. So now, so this is a for each, so it goes round. So we've gotten the ID. So for example, we've gotten this ID, the PS6H7. We're going to display it. We're also going to display its name. So to do that, we're going to get the current grouping key, which again is PS6H7, from here, and we're going to display the value chair. So it will take the ID and then display the chair. And as you can see, we have person node, the closing person node here, and we have a value here inside the person node. Okay, so now let's display the following words. So if we go back up, PS6H7 says the following words. So okay, says these words. So basically what we want to do now is we want to know how many words does each of these speakers speak. So PS6H7 speaks these following words, these number of words. So to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to just copy this to create another column over here. I'm going to remove this. Okay, so now what we want to do is again, let's do counts. So we want to display a number. Current group, so the current speaker ID. We are going to get its following nodes, so following words, just like that. And so now that should count the get the speaker, and should count how many W nodes occurs after the speaker. And lastly, just over here, what we're going to do is we're going to also, actually not now, let me just copy this. I'm just going to move this for now. Let's do that at the end. Let's see the results that we have first. I'm going to name this as number of words. Okay, so if I run this, okay, I'm going to do yes. Okay, so we've gotten the speaker's ID, we've gotten their names, and we've gotten how many words does each speaker speak. So again, let's just quickly display it in descending order. Again, it's quite similar. Just over here, we're going to do W. So we're going to count the current speaker's IDs following words, the number of them, and making sure they go from high to low. I'm going to save this, and there you have it. So just to recap quickly, we've taken all the speaker's ID using the who attribute. We're going to display each one, so it's a for each group. So as we loop round, it's going to display each speaker. It's going to display the name of the speaker using the person node and XML ID attribute, and then basically doing a comparison using the current grouping key, meaning the current ID. And then the last column is we're going to get the current speakers IDs, get the following nodes, and count how many W nodes they speak, so how many words do they speak. Okay, let's make sure that the name and the IDs are of the same. I'm not going to, the words do work, but it's quite long to find if it is exactly 10 words or it is exactly 100 words. So I'm just going to focus on the speaker ID column and the name column. So let's go to speaker. Let's go PS6H7. So PS6H7. Okay, so PS6H7, this is the ID and the name is chair. PS6H7, that's the ID and the name is chair, and they speak 93 words. So now we know that this data is working fine. Also, you can download the source code and make sure that you try it out for yourself and do some testings as well. So I really hope you have enjoyed this video. So we've made two SSL files. This one just takes the word and number of times they occur. This one just goes a bit more further, taking the speaker ID, the speaker name, and how many words does the speaker speak. So I really hope you've enjoyed this video and you now know how to extract and transform XML to HTML. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I'm going to put the source code inside the description box below for you to access. You can download it. It's going to be in my GitHub. And do check out my other videos. I'm going to make a part 2 to this, which will be how to query XML data using XQuery, which is a bit more, I would say a bit more challenging, but I mean I prefer XQuery, so I would definitely check that video out. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video and I hope to see you soon in my other videos.